Hey there, Dr. Dave here with USU Extension. I'm actually here in Kansas City. I'm speaking tomorrow at a big Head Start conference, so I'm thrilled about that. But I thought I would talk about my Tuesday 2-minute tip. It is really something that it's pretty serious for many people, and that is anxiety. Anxiety and this worry, and we stew about our children, our relationships, or someone says something, and then we sit there and stew about it, and we worry and we get anxious, and all that is real. But I think it's important to understand that there are more things that frighten us than injure us. So we really suffer more in imagination than in reality, if that makes sense. So what happens is we get into these toxic thought patterns. And the sooner that we realize that we are not our thoughts, that we can actually pull back. So we're having one of those thoughts, we start to worry about, oh, what's happened with my child, they're out late, and automatically our mind goes to the negative and often the very worst case scenario, right? So we call those automatic negative thoughts, called ants. So we learn to squish those ants. Here's another acronym I came up with. It's called CPR, right? CPR, and it stands for, the C stands for catch. Catch yourself having that thought. So it's not, the purpose of this is not to not have those, because if you sit there and try to force, okay, I'm not gonna think that way, I'm not gonna think, that actually is more harmful. So just catch it, catch yourself having that thought and say, oh, I'm going down that path a minute. The P stands for pause, or to just take a breath. Take a few deep breaths, because sometimes when we get anxious, we don't breathe very well, we can't think very clearly. So catch yourself having the thought, take some breaths, and then remember it's not real. Recall and remind yourself that this is not real, that my thoughts are not me. So imagine it's just one of those little soap bubbles, right? A soap bubble kind of passes on, and you can actually put your finger out there and pop the bubble. That's what you can do with these negative thoughts. So the sooner that we can realize that, oh, I'm having one of those thoughts, catch yourself, and then lean away from that thought. Does that make sense? Lean away from that thought. Don't force yourself. So just accept it. Accept that I'm having that thought and I'm feeling anxious. That's the first step, is just to be aware of it and look at it non-judgmentally. Just say, oh, that's interesting. I'm going down that path again. I'm having that thought. So get curious about it, but let it pass on by like a cloud or that bubble. You just kind of reach out and say, pop, okay, that's not real, but don't let it take you hostage and take you into the jail. Does that make sense? So you can actually learn to catch yourself, CPR, catch yourself, take a breath, and then remind yourself that this is not real. This is not real. This is my mind. And remember, we suffer more in imagination than we do in reality. So that's all for now. I'm Dr. Dave with Utah State, sharing tips to make life great.